All right. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Ready for painting and drawing and talking? I hope you are, because certainly I am. So let's do it. Let's put a little bit of cozy fire, like always, in these cold days of early spring, at least here in Sweden. All right. So Regal, hola, hola, bienvenido. Duzen, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Well, I hope that you had a fantastic start of the week, and you've been doing some cool stuff. So okay, let's change here. Let's jump directly with our wait a second. Can you, for some reason, I failed to read some of the chat. Can you, now I can. All right. Samuel, I made it for the start of a stream. Yay. No, wait. This one. Yeah. Congratulations. Hope you are doing good, Miguel. Looking forward to today's painting session. Nice. Well, happy you are. And welcome, Samuel. So, yes, I'm doing pretty good. Doing some very, very, very cool things for work that, of course, sadly, I cannot say anything about it, but I'm doing some very, very cool stuff that I'm really, really enjoying. So yeah, doing pretty okay. Regal, you know Ana de Armas? She's from Spain. She's so beautiful. Ana de Armas, she's an actress, right? I'm actually not familiar with her. I think I have heard her name. I'd also, like, it was mentioned something that she might be involved into the, she could be cast for the whatever Warhammer 40k live action project. But I am not sure from where she is. Merula Art. Oh, hi, Miguel. Michael here. Long time no see. Will crusade against AI art continue even today? Well, hello, first of all. How are you doing? And I don't know what you mean regarding the AI. You mean that you will be crusading, or are you asking me if I am crusading against it? Well, I'm certainly against it. Yeah, I think it's in its current implementation and the plans that they do, it's just so wrong in so many ways. So yeah. And I'm not surprised to some degree if people don't have a real stake into it, that people don't spend the time to really educate themselves and get into the subject. Therefore, I see a huge, I mean, the big majority of the public is completely unaware and uneducated into what is the real issue. And they fall into this kind of like narrative, this fantasy about believing that AI is real AI, like it's really creating stuff. When the reality, it has absolutely nothing about creating, and it's not that intelligent at all. So they hear artificial intelligence and they actually think that it's like some real thing, but it is not. So yeah, anyway, I'm digressing, starting my rant. But yeah, I find that this not surprisingly, but yeah, like a huge part of the public is completely unaware of what are the issues, and they don't understand what's going on. But of course, everybody has an opinion, and they regardless of how uneducated people are, they still have very strong opinions, and they voice it on the internet. On that note, in case you are not aware, there is something that it's happening. There is a program that you can start using to kind of protect your art that is called Glaze. I haven't tried it myself yet because I think it's not available for PC, just for Macintosh computers. But basically, it just creates like some kind of protective layer that impedes the AIs to kind of replicate your images, so they are not capable of reproducing them. So it's definitely something that I would encourage you to start using. Sergio Ponce, hello Miguel. Hello, how are you doing? Juan, buenas noches. Buenas, Juan, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido. Okay, let's change this to another layer. I hate having to do this type of stuff, but this is gonna be for the best. I want that to be on the background. All right, so also I want to remind you that in a little bit less than a month, my course at CGMA, Narrative Illustration and Characters, will the new term will resume in April. So just so you know, so for those of you that don't know what it is about, it's an 8-week long course with homeworks, feedback sessions, and Q&A sessions every week. And it's a very in-depth course focused on visual narrative and how to apply that into your art. And as far as I am aware, there is not a single course out there that goes into this length and depth into this subject. And it's one subject of absolute importance to be a good artist, in my opinion. So it's a subject that it's extremely important to know about and to master, or at least aspire to master. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you are interested, or you know of anybody that might be interested, just spread the word. Sergio, ¿cómo pasaste mi cumpleaños? Miguel, próximamente cumpliré un año de experiencia en videojuegos en un trabajo ad honorem. ¿Crees que debería aplicar a varias empresas a la vez o solo a una a la vez? Contesta en inglés si quieres. Okay, yes, I will answer in English. So first, how did I spend my birthday? Well, as you know, I spent the evening with you guys on last stream, but yeah, it was quite casual, nothing special since it was in the middle of the week. So just working and spending time with the family and eating extremely nice and delicious cake that my wife baked for the occasion. And yeah, aside from that, nothing special. So to your question, if you should apply to one single place or several ones, well, difficult to say, because that's normally depending on what you want. But assuming that the first and primary goal is just to get a job anywhere, then I would say apply as many as possible. Always. Because the more you apply, the more you, assuming that you are doing the proper work into the application process and with portfolios and all these things that we've been talking so many times, you are basically growing or expanding the chances for you to get a job, right? So yeah, my recommendation is to apply to as many as possible. That's my answer. Faisal, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name properly. Do you offer one-on-one mentorships? I'm a bit tired of 8 weeks format. Thanks. Sadly, no. That's the short answer. No. So it's something that I'm been considering for some time, and I might do eventually, perhaps, but not at the moment. I don't have the time to dedicate into it. So yeah, I'm afraid that that's how it is. Well, it start messing her face. As we mentioned, we want her to look like she's been injured. Not gravely, but still lot of shrapnel cuts, perhaps. Maybe on top of the head, and the blood is running down. And I would put a lot of battle damage on her armor, and I want to show the the cloths like teared apart as well. Again, this is in the wrong layer. It's just save it on another layer. I want to merge as many as possible now. All right. Luis, hi Miguel, a pleasure to see you. Same wise. How are you? I'm now in a business trip in Germany until the end of the month. Your family and you are okay? I'm a little bit free time. I'm sitting and fixing my portfolio with new works. Nice, Luis. That's fantastic. I'm doing pretty good, thank you, and family is doing all right. So, man, great to hear that you are engaging and still working on your portfolio. Are you still focusing on what was it, like vehicle designs, if I recall correctly? But like always, an absolute pleasure to have you back, Luis. Samuel, I know people who spend lots of money on strong computers for AI art. The excitement faded fast. They like the idea of making art but have no passion for it. They would rather do other things. Yeah, well, I don't know about any of those cases, but I'm not surprised. That's one of the things that I thought when all of this started, which at the end is just like this kind of harmony of the whole, how do you say, issue is just that if you are into art, if you have a creative need to express yourself, to express ideas, you are into creating, right? It's not about the gimmick of just pressing for the fun of it's just like a game. You write some prompts and that's about it, and something pops. There is absolutely nothing rewarding about that after a while, when you kind of the novelty just fades away. And since you don't have that kind of creative drive, then it's just like, me, just gonna move up, move into something else. And yeah, that's something that I thought at the very beginning. And if what you are saying is true, then that kind of confirms a little bit that that idea. And I guess it's not for in all the cases, but in some cases that might be how it's happening. And yeah, not surprised. I'm pretty sure at the same time that there is plenty of people that fall into believing their own lies about thinking that they are creating something with it, that it's them, the artist, and the AI is just a tool. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure that some people believe that's how it is, when the truth it is not. They are not creating anything. It's the AI that is doing the whole work. You know, with this normal argument that is like, no, but I'm the one that is writing the prompts. So I'm the artist. The ideas are mine. You know, the best analogy that I have heard to this argument is like, all right, so you go to a restaurant and you say to the waiter what you want to eat, your prompt, and then you say that you are the chef because you, you know, you choose what you wanted to do, and you wanted to eat, but you are not cooking it. That it's the cook, is the chef that is doing the the cooking, right? So it is exactly the same thing. Shannon, hello Shannon, welcome. Your streams have been such a great help in seeing where to start on pieces. Usually nervous to start, but just even watching you paint has been helpful, inspirational. Thank you. Well, thanks for sharing that, and happy to help. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. All right, that's the main reason for me for doing these streams. To try to help as much as I can. But yeah, starting it's always can be very challenging or even scary at sometimes. But that's something that you overcome with experience. Yeah, this is not exactly. Let's see. Marila, of course I am on eternal crusade against AI. Some people even make money from it now. Oh yes, they do. Yeah, it is crazy. But I do not want to start discussion against AI against again like last time. Sorry about that. No. Nothing to apologize, and please feel free to talk about it in chat. I think it is a very, I mean, since this how do you say, this stream, it's about art, it's about digital art, but yeah, art in general, and AI is affecting or will potentially affect us in a very, very bad way. I think it's a very relevant subject to talk about, so I'm completely fine talking about it on stream. But yeah, it's some people are making money out of it, which is disgusting. But again, I think plenty of people is just, I mean, genuinely, I believe a lot of people are completely unaware of what is the issue, right? So they genuinely think that, yeah, it is a very legit tool that they can use, and they don't understand what is behind everything and what are the implications. So they just jump into the train without knowing what they are getting into it. And of course, there's plenty of people that are aware and they still choose to go ahead and make money out of it. But honestly, I mean, who knows? We never know, right? But I believe that these AI image generated programs in its current form has a very short lifespan because of the legal implications, and so I believe that this is just a very short term thing. And I know some people are thinking, oh yeah, this AI is here to stay, etc., etc. Well, it could be the case. The technology is going to stay here for sure, but the current implementation, again, we cannot know how the different juries or judges in different countries are gonna and are gonna rule, but I think they are gonna rule against it, and they're just gonna kill it on its tracks, because the problem as it is at the moment is you cannot untrain. I mean, as soon as they have scratched or use any image into their database, it cannot be unlearned, it cannot be erased. And since they cannot know which images are copyrighted or not, then they're gonna be forced to just kill it. and they will and if they genuinely want to do uh, a legit image generated program, they will have to start from scratch with images that they do especially for training their AIs, but not using the wider internet. But I mean, the theft is of such scale that I mean, I see it could happen, but I mean, as a possibility, but I would be so shocked if they don't just rule against it. I would be so surprised. Shibiversity. Good day to you, Miguel. Good day to you. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Jorge, tus ilustraciones para Dark Tide han sido una jodida maravilla. Gracias, gracias. Thank you. But I just have shown a tiny bit of everything that I have done for Dark Tide. So there's plenty of things to show yet. Joe, hey Miguel, your work is great and I'm a big fan. My dream is to work with Warhammer one day. Do you have a tip to give me? Well, thank you for the kind words, Joe. All right, yes, I could give you some tips, but I would need a little bit more specific. Question. I mean, you say that you want to work with Warhammer. In what way? Because, yeah, as a designer, game designer, as a sculptor, as a illustrator, as a concept artist, as a miniature painter of miniatures, you name it. And are you studying? Where are you at in the process? Do you have previous experience, etc., etc.? I need a little bit more context to give you hopefully a useful tip, because if not, it's just random and yeah, probably not useful at all. And going back to Dark Tide, I'm still playing it, and I'm having so much fun with this game. It's just ridiculous how fun the game is, and I cannot wait for them to add more stuff into the game, and new content. That of course I know what I'm talking about, but I cannot say what. But yeah, there are a lot of very cool things coming. I don't know when. But yeah. Some of the things that I have that I'm more proud of everything that I have done for Dark Tide is still to be included into the game. It is coming, but yeah. And of course, I'm super curious of how it is implemented into the game as a player myself as well. So I'm so looking forward. Is any of you by any chance playing the game? Sorry. As you know, as it's starting to become a classic, I'm tired. Uh, Joe, so I work as concept artist, and that would be the way I would choose. Sorry, I should be more specific. Yeah, no worries. I have like worked with small companies, but I want to go more forward to bigger like Warhammer and stuff. It's what I draw almost all the time. um, okay. Um, so my following question would be, when you mean Warhammer, you mean working for Games Workshop itself, or working with Warhammer franchised projects, you know, like Dark Tide, for instance, or I don't know, Warhammer Total War. You know, so it's not Games Workshop, but it's just like working within the IP, but not necessarily for Games Workshop. Merula, thank you for your feedback. On other note, Dark Tide have an amazing soundtrack. Oh yes, yeah, it is insanely good. I totally agree. Listening every day, really? Wow. Yeah, it is. It is very very good. By the way, did you play other Warhammer games? You mean video games? Yes, of course. I mean, being such a Warhammer nerd myself, how could it be otherwise? So yes, I played plenty. Plenty. Most of them, I would say, except like mobile games and stuff like that. Most, not all of them, but yeah. One that I haven't tried and I would love to, but I haven't. I mean, just have very limited time for gaming. And when it was released, I wasn't able to play at all. It was the Mechanicus game. Another game that has an insanely good soundtrack. But yeah, most of all Warhammer games I have played. Well, another one, by the way, that I haven't tried recent is the Chaos Gates sequel. I, of course, played the original one back in the 1990s, so a long time ago. Absolutely insanely good game in its time. But yeah, I haven't played the new one. I keep doing like folds as if this was some sort of robe, but it is not. As far as I understand, it's like some sort of leather cover. Like a leather coat layer over the armor. Samuel Reyes, I haven't played that game yet. I'm on my first playthrough of Warhammer 40k Dawn of War at the moment. Oh, cool. I think, yeah, of the Dawn of War, I mean, putting in context, I think it has aged a lot. I think the only one worth now, even though when it came it was great, but I think the second one is the one to play. The third one was a crime. But yeah, Dark Tide is a very different type of game. Completely, yeah, totally different genre. It's very, very, very hectic. So yeah, Joe, still waiting. If you are still around, if you want me to give you an answer. So are you interested in working with Games Workshop itself, or just on a project that is using one of the, the Warhammer IP? I'm just trying to to think if I add some like fire. see. I'm just playing now. I think, yeah, it's a nice element to have. Some fire, I mean. But I don't want it to be like all over the place either. So just like a little bit here on the corner. I'm just trying to to figure out how to add different icons and and amulets and stuff like that. Purity seals. In a way that feels natural, and doesn't kind of mess with what I have done so far. Mm, 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 mm. By the way, I'm I'm listening at the moment to the latest novel of the Siege of Terra. And ooh, it's interesting. So many reveals into the grand scheme of the lore of 40k. So many things that were kind of like a mystery, and now they are just being explained or clarified. Which, to be honest, I don't know if it's it's something that I like, but still, I mean, it's cool in one way, but on the other one, I don't know if it's better just to keep the mystery and the fog of the legends lost in the mist of history, right? But yeah, we'll not talk about anything to avoid spoilers. But I'm enjoying it. But funny enough, it's not. It's one of the novels that I'm least enjoying from Dan Abnett. At the same time, Well, you see, for some reason, I see here on the that you guys been answering on the chat, but I couldn't see on my end. I don't know why. So let's see. So sorry about that. So yeah, sorry, Joe. You you answered all of that, but for some reason I couldn't. It is not showing. I have like the multi-stream kind of chat in one. That's normally what I look at, and at some point it just stopped refreshing, and it didn't show. So apologies. So let's see if I get back. Yeah, Merila, Dawn of War series is amazing. I do like third game too. That's heresy. But well, good for you. Playing Total War, Warhammer. That one is great. I'm a big fan. Lucius, every time I play Dark Tide, I find a new detail I love. You can feel the passion that went into it, right? I mean, yeah, it is. It is insane. I'm myself also discovering a lot of things. The latest, I think I mentioned it last time, about the zombies. That depending on where they spawn, they look like they belong to the area where they are spawning. So I was like in a, can't remember which map, but in like in a kind of some checkpoint, security checkpoint of the local authorities or something, and you have like some banners from the security agency or yeah, whatever you want to call it, and the zombies, plenty of them are wearing the uniforms of that security agency, so it's fantastic. I haven't seen them any other place than in those checkpoints areas, so yeah. Joe, I guess the franchise in general, but maybe I should focus in some specific points. The Mighty Dog, particularly nice stuff here tonight. Thank you, thank you. Always a nice surprise to see a stream running live. Yes. Sisters of Battle Corset time. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but thank you, thank you. Joe, I would say for some Warhammer IP. Well, okay. So if that is the case, what I would say is like, well, kind of hunt after those studios that are known for working with Warhammer IPs, right? So and try to apply to those studios. So that's what I would do, right? And depending on the type of games they have done, well, you might have a little bit of a direction or of where to go. 1 second. So yeah, I would say do a little bit of research into which studios are working with Warhammer IPs or have a history of working with Warhammer IPs, because most likely they will be doing more. Unless you know for in some cases that okay, some are doing, let's say, how it's called, let's see. Creative Assembly. Sorry, I just kind of had a brain fart. Creative Assembly. All right, so they are doing the Warhammer. I mean the Total War games, and they have been running for a long time the Warhammer Total War games. They most likely will be continue doing that. So, okay, so that's a studio that you know. Okay, they are working with Warhammer IP. So the same thing all over the place, right? So with Fat Shark, for instance, or well, there are plenty of studios that are working with that, right? And that's if we are talking about video games. You have also the animation side, right? So I'm not following that very closely, but I guess it's kind of easy to research what studios are doing what in terms of animation. So that's another route. And of course, being on the hunt for any possible new project that is made public, but they are still running, and try to apply for that. So that's what that's my immediate suggestion. That I know it's not that groundbreaking tip, but that's what I would say. Shannon, be generic of a question, but do you have any advice for someone who is going to art school, worried that waste my time and don't apply myself? I have been told it's a lot of working alone. Well, yes. I mean, I can give you a very general tip, and is to not to get discouraged. It is a long journey, a journey that is gonna last for the rest of your life as an artist. The goal, or you shouldn't put your goal as getting a job, because you will get there eventually. So you just focus and enjoy the journey, even with its downsides, because it's part of the journey. So don't get discouraged. Accept the frustrating part, the pain that comes with it, because it's part of the journey, and just enjoy for what it is. And yeah, so don't be discouraged. It's just becoming a professional artist is something closer to running a super marathon than a sprint race, and that's how you need to take it. Don't rush, don't get stressed for not getting somewhere sooner, because again, it's just about time, and you will eventually get there. And you will discover once you get to some point that, oh, that previously you thought that was the end goal, that was it. But once you reach there, you see that, oh shit, there is so much more that I need to continue improving and learning. So it's a never-ending story of learning and improving. So yeah, don't get discouraged. Keep working, grinding. Don't burn yourself either. So it is important to take breaks and not lose. Another important thing I would say, it's don't lose the perspective that you are doing this for enjoying yourself, for the pleasure of creating and doing art. That's also very, very important. So yeah, sometimes, especially when you are learning and you are learning the basics, the fundamentals, that can be a little bit sometimes a little bit dry, and you have to go through it. There's no way around it. Still don't lose the perspective that, okay, you are doing this for the joy of it. So it's important just to not just do, let's say, boring exercises or stuff like that. Keep some time for creating your things, the things that you like, that you enjoy. So again, you keep the perspective of what is really important about creating art. So yeah, but in a very generic way, that's what I would say. I hope it makes sense. And well, as Marila is saying, yes, I think, of you, for certain, you can learn by yourself, and it's not an absolute must to go to an art school. But obviously, always going to an art school has a lot of benefits. So I've, of course, it depends on which type of art school you go, etc., etc. But like anything in life, but I think it is a good thing going to somewhere where there are gonna be teachers that are gonna guide you, and they're gonna make the whole learning process, so especially about the fundamentals and the beginning, much easier and faster than if you are having to deal with that on your own and trying to come up with the solutions on your own. So yeah. Hello Alamana. I recommend going to community college cheap art classes. All right, yeah. Shannon, luckily I have been doing class like that mostly to build up my portfolio too. I do feel like I'm behind compared to others. Again, as I was saying, don't feel stressed or pressed that you need to get at some level or point. Just take the time that you need. Some people go faster, some people go slower, but yeah, it's not about how fast and where you go, but it's just about the journey itself. So yeah. Samuel, well, you are obviously not here because I'm very behind on the chat, but yeah, was nice to have you here. Marula Art, by the way, I gave my students homework last year to design mixed animals for Warhammer Fantasy. Cow's giraffe mixed with a penguin was the most crazy thing I have ever seen. Well, that sounds like crazy. Yeah, that's quite a challenging exercise, I have to say. And yeah, those type of creative exercise with constraints and specific directions force you to, yeah, to be creative and push yourself. So those type of exercises are very good. Shannon, my pleasure. That's what I'm here for. Well, I'm very annoyed with this thing with the chat because now I'm paranoid that I'm missing some of your comments as I have done already. All right. My endurance, it's just dropping. I mean, I'm getting very tired already. So this is not like before I become a father. No, I can't. I'm struggling to last this late. parenting is hard. It's hard work. So I think I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I mean, we haven't. It hasn't been bad in terms of moving forward the illustration. So I'm actually quite happy with where we are at with it. I'm thinking that for future streams, I'm considering starting to do some, instead of like this more traditional type of illustrations, to do some keyframe art, 40K, of course. Well, not necessarily, but yeah, maybe. Maybe when we finish this illustration, or perhaps even before that, we'll see. And I know I'm jumping all over the place with the things that I'm doing on the stream, but you have to understand that, yeah, I have very little time for doing this, and I get very easily tired. So we drag things for a very long time on the streams because I only have the stream time to paint whatever I'm doing. So sometimes it's a struggle. I just realized that I have so many things that are unfinished that we've been doing during the streams, right? Like so many, and only very few ones we have actually finished. So they are getting stored there for whenever I feel for continuing with them. But yeah, we have plenty of these sequential illustrations idea that I had. We have the perturbable demon prince illustration as well, concept. We have the Lord of the Rings orcs as well. I think an orc somewhere. Yeah, there's a lot. So, yeah. Yeah, you see, I'm kind of missing so so much of the chat because of this problem I'm having. So now the multi-stream chat, it seems to be working again. Gergely, hey man, what are you doing here? What a surprise. Hey man, I had no idea you are doing this live. Well, I've been doing this for 2 years, I think, or even more. Have to say, it's super inspiring to see you paint. I have been doodling along the last half hour. Awesome. Well, and we should meet some time for some beers, Gergely. It's about time. It's been a long time. For those of you that are here, Gergely is an amazing concept artist. We've been colleagues for many years, back in the day when we both were working at Ubisoft. So yes, fantastic artist. Merula, thank you for your efforts, Miguel. This stream was once again very inspiring. Good night and see you next time. I wish you guys all best. Thank you, man. Take care, and thanks for passing by. Pontus, hey, good night, everyone. Hey, Pontus, how are you doing? You've been just lurking, you naughty boy, without saying anything. Mr. Satho, hello, not sure if you ever talked about AI art. Yes, we've been talking a lot at the beginning. But what do you think of the future of it, and should one embrace it and incorporate it with traditional skills? Definitely not. Avoid it like the pest. It's it's not about the technology itself, but how it is implemented at the moment, and it's so wrong, so unethical, and it's and if you consider an artist yourself, it's so detrimental to you and your process of learning and improving it as an artist. So definitely not. I'm absolutely against AI art in all levels of discussion, but the most important one is the ones that should be relevant at these current states is the ethical and legal aspect of it, and is completely wrong, is just straight up theft, and yeah, you shouldn't use it, and especially, I mean, and I'm not just going on you because of this. Is a good question, but just in general, if you are considering using it in a professional matter, I mean, you are just at least how things are. I would argue that you are just committing suicide as a professional artist, because yeah, avoid it. I would like to speak more in depth about it, but as I was saying, I'm kind of tired, so we can take it next time. So please remind me, and we can have a long discussion next stream, next week. Yeah, Gergely, but I think I have told you many times. But yeah, anyway, I'm doing this every Tuesdays. Shannon, thank you for the stream, Miguel. Thank you for answering all my questions. Goes to chat too. Hope everyone has a good night. Yeah, good night, good night. And yes, again, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining. Like always, it's an absolute pleasure. And yeah, see you next week at the same time. Yeah, kind of looking quite okay, I guess. Plenty of things to do yet, and define and polish and change, but it's shaping all right, I would say. All right, again, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining, and have a good one. Stay safe, healthy, and paint and draw a lot, and have fun doing it. Okay, bye bye.